Hey guys, I hope you all are doing well. My name is Allison. I'm a junior at State High, and for today I thought I would just briefly give you guys an overview on prepared presentation, which is an event I've done for quite a while. So today we'll be looking at the presentation I used for regionals when I was a freshman and also at states. Also when I was a freshman, I made it to the semifinalist round for states, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, let's get started. Alright, so here are the rules for prepared presentation. What I would strongly encourage you guys to take note of is the time limit. So you want to stick between 3 minutes and 5 minutes. I would generally try to be in the range of 4 minutes and 30 seconds or above, but obviously try not to go over because they will cut you off. Just because it gives your listener enough time to understand your presentation, gather information, but also making it clear and concise at the same time. There's no longer a leap for this year, so that's great. You don't need to worry about that. And the setup of the event will most likely be different for you than it was for me. When I had this event at regionals, what they do is they'll give you the topic for the prepared presentation way before the competition, like months before, so you don't need to worry at all about that time constraint of 24 hours. But when you do get to states, they'll give you the topic 24 hours before, and then you have 24 hours to make the presentation. And the slide deck must include a minimum of 5 slides, so that's another thing to note. You don't want to cram information on one slide, but rather spread it out, use bullet points. It's definitely a good way to make it more clear and concise. So here are some other rules that might be important for you guys to see. Again, this is a little outdated. I would recommend you guys to look at the 2020 to 2021 TSA High School Competitive Events Guide to get the most accurate rules that will be applicable to you when you are doing this event. Here is the rubric, very important to note. So for 9 to 10 points, you want an introduction, a body, and a conclusion that's very effective, stimulating, inspires observers. It is a little vague. Try to do what you can with that information, but just make sure you're having enough information on your slide deck. They also do grade you on appearance and your confidence, so how you come into that room, how you give that presentation, whether you're nervous, whether you're trembling a little, they do take note of that and they will grade you on that. And as well as your articulation, so varying that tone and pitch throughout the speech, making the speech very engaging. And lastly, they grade you on your presentation as a whole. So how you use the slide deck, how was the slide deck made, the organization within the presentation, and the effectiveness for the listener. So that is pretty much it for the rules, and I will show you guys the presentations I made my freshman year. Alright, so here is the auto industry. That was the theme for regionals, and so I started off with a little joke: what kind of car does Yoda drive? And then just a general statement about the auto industry, the history of the automobile, and some other types of fuel. So as you can see from my slides, I tried to maintain a color consistency within the theme and also not shove text onto one slide, but rather use bullet points to make it more effective to the listener. And here I have works cited and a thank you page. And I guess my brainstorming method for this prepared presentation is I made a separate Google Doc, and then I would do research on the topic, kind of break it down into an intro, a body, a conclusion, and see what I could use from those sources to make my prepared presentation. Okay, here is my presentation for states, and this theme they gave us 24 hours before. It was just posted on a board. so anyone could see, and it was breaking down boundaries. Here is my ID in case you were wondering what that was. So each TSA member will get their own like unique individual ID. So 2048 was like the 910 TSA chapter, and this was my like unique number. So breaking down boundaries, I had a quote. So with breaking down boundaries, I kind of applied it for myself as gender roles and female representation in technology. And so from there, I kind of went forth with my presentation showing like who are like famous women breaking down boundaries in STEM and kind of the applications, and I also tied it into myself, and as well as TSA. So here are my works cited, and again, I have just a nice little thank you page. So I guess that is pretty much it for prepared presentation. Um, if you have any trouble or if you need any advice with the event, let me know. I would be happy to answer any questions. And I hope that video was helpful.